Wow, I don't remember the last time, if ever, I had two anthology movies released and sent to me on the same weekend. I just posted a review for We Are Many, which was fantastic, and then I actually just sat down and watched this one today called Murder Manual. I'm going to say this, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. Okay, so I don't know. I listen. I love anthology movies. I really do. Simply because I love short horror films, which is what anthology movies are. But it's this style of anthology film, and it's hit or miss. Okay, because what they do is they pick a topic, and in this case, it's like a murder. Well, it's the title of the film, Murder Manual. They give you 8 steps on what you need to learn or do to murder somebody. Okay, so. And each short film is supposed to kind of give you an idea of how to do that specific portion of murdering somebody. But, you know, when you pick short films that are already pre-made from around the internet and try and piece them together to make one solid film, it sometimes doesn't work. And I've got to tell you, for this one, for the most part, it did not work for me. There were some episodes in here, and it's oddly enough, the episodes that they list in their synopsis are the 5 episodes that I thought were the worst. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know who wrote this synopsis, but I would definitely, I mean, they make it sound cool in the synopsis, but when you actually watch a short film, they're not very good. They really aren't. I'll read it to you. It's creepy, terrifying chapters from our book of horror include a little girl's journey from a world of nightmares into nightmares of reality. A gay couple's romantic getaway in Palm Springs turns murderous. A young woman whose rideshare or Uber turns deadly, and a girl who is held captive by a circus that must be rescued by her husband. Okay, well, the last one that I just said, and that's their synopsis. Okay, so the very last one I talked about is the wraparound segment. And a wraparound segment in an anthology film is, you know, it's usually the opening segment. They usually break it into 2. It has the opening segment, and then it's also the closing segment, right? If you ever watch anthology films, you know what I'm talking about. Well, this is the one that is getting a lot of bad comments because it stars Emilia Clarke. And this film was actually, like, her segment was actually filmed back in 2012. It's called Shackles. But you'll know her face, obviously. She's famous. I mean, she was one of the stars of Game of Thrones, and she was also one of the stars of the Terminator movie. But she's not in it very much, right? Because there's just this one segment that's broken into 2. And I'll tell you, man, her segment is probably the worst one out of the bunch in this anthology film. It was horrible. I don't even know why it was in here because it doesn't really pertain to anything about this movie. Like, there's 8 listings, and I'll give them to you very quickly. Out of the 8, okay, so each one's titled. Before each segment starts, they don't give you the actual name of the short. It's just like on a toe tag, right? And it's step 1 through 8 on, you know, how to murder somebody, and they've listed it as such. So 1 through 8, number 1 is pick your victim, 2 is know your victim, 3 is judge your victim, 4 is choose your location, 5 is welcome your prey, 6 is trap your prey, 7 is surround your prey, and 8 is don't let your prey escape. And number 8 is the Emilia Clarke one. And the other one, like I said, there was 5 in here that I didn't like. Number 1, I guess, is pick your victim. Listen, I watched that short twice, and I still have, first of all, no clue why it's even in this film because it doesn't pertain to anything to do with it. And even as a short film standalone, I have no fucking clue what they're trying to say in this short film. The little girl that is in it did a killer job. She's, you know, especially at that age, she's only got to be like 3 or 4 years old. But I just don't understand that one. So if you have seen this, or if you go watch it, you know, watch that and leave a comment down below trying to explain how this is even involved in this movie, because I have no fucking idea, none a clue. But then, and you know, it's funny, I'm sitting there watching these first 2 opening clips, okay, and I'm thinking, holy fuck, please don't let the entire movie be just chock full of shitty short films, because, you know, it's an hour and a half, and that's fine, that's a good run time. But I was like, you know, coming off of We Are Many, the anthology film that I just reviewed, because that movie was banging, and I thought, please don't ruin my weekend by making me watch a shit show of just a, you know, 8 fucking shitty horror films. But it does get better. The couple in the center are definitely the best ones. Like Know Your Victim is a really cool kind of like a twist, you know what I mean? Like the murderer becomes the victim and stuff like that. I like that. I don't want to give spoilers for these, so I'll be very vague on them. Judge Your Victim, I think, was my favorite. It had that 70s kind of a feel to it. And it's like a little bit of a creature feature / kind of exorcism style short. And I thought it was the best of the bunch. Choose Your Location was okay. It was predictable, but it just, I don't know, it was kind of cool, a little bit disturbing at the end of what happens. And then we start going back down into the ones that I didn't like. Welcome Your Prey was about a gay couple that go to an Airbnb, and I always find Airbnb sketchy anyways, but they rent this Airbnb, and it's what happens to them when they're there. Okay, now this isn't like a bad segment. The acting was really good. You know, I liked how they showed the characters. There was a couple cringy scenes if you're not into that kind of stuff, but I mean, I don't know. When it was over, I just felt like there was something missing, and I don't know what it was, but maybe I just wanted more of the ending, you know. But I just didn't get what I wanted out of that one. And then Trap Your Prey was fucking terrible, even just as a standalone short film. It's about this woman that takes an Uber home from a party, and the driver is like this white supremacist neo-Nazi fucktard that you know, kidnaps her, and then I'm going to give the whole thing. He carves swastikas all over her, and then he throws her back out in the street because it's like a warning sign or something for this, you know, the oncoming, you know, white race and all this like that. Whoever directed that and whatever your story went behind it, you can go fuck yourself, because I mean, I can't even tolerate any of that shit and people involved in that. So if any of you are watching this who did that short, like, fuck off. Seriously, I hate that shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, it drives me nuts. So I absolutely hated that short film, and it actually put me in a bad mood when I was watching it, because, I mean, nothing against the actor, but just the person he was portraying, I just wanted to punch my fucking TV screen. So anyways, and number 7 is Surround Your Prey. Now, this one had racial tones to it. Okay, I did really like it. I thought it was one of the better ones, you know what I mean? But Surround Your Prey is good. It's a zombie short, actually, but it's definitely, you know, got some racial tones there, because the survivors are people of color. Okay, I don't know the proper term. I apologize, and the zombies are white people. Okay, and it's weird watching this, because they go above and beyond to try and get the point across, because, like I said, the zombies are white, the surviving people are people of color. Okay, and even the filter on the film itself is like a whitewash. And all the zombies are pretty much dressed in white clothing. So, I mean, if you can't figure out what they're trying to say in this one, you know, it's blatantly obvious, and I get it, and I respected that very much. So, but again, it's one of these films, like, and it's not the short film's fault, but I don't understand why it was in this movie as part of a murder manual. Like, a lot of these films, when they're over with, you're going to shake your head, going like, why the fuck was this even in here? Like, what does this have to do with murdering somebody? Like, it's, I don't know. It just, you know, at the very end of it, it just felt like, you know, they tried their best to get whatever they could get their hands on to try and fill in the blanks for this murder manual movie, and it just didn't work. And it's a shame, really, because, you know, like I said, like a few of these are great standalone short horror films, but you put them in this movie and try and tell the story with it, it just doesn't work. And I didn't work for me, and I just didn't care for this film at all. And I'll tell you, the Emilia Clarke episode, if I didn't say this at the beginning of this review, was fucking terrible. Like, not as a standalone film, it's quite artsy, and, you know, whatever context you take it in, but it has absolutely nothing to do with a murder manual. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So, I don't know. If you guys have seen this, I know my review is kind of all over the place, but so is this movie. It's like I don't know, man. It just didn't work. It's like they had a hat full of movies, and they just randomly pulled fucking names out of the hat and just plugged it in the 8 empty spots, and sometimes it works and sometimes it didn't. And for the most part, for this movie, for me anyways, it didn't fucking work. So anyways, it's out now. You can rent it on Amazon Prime for like $2.99, so it's super cheap. Okay, I would say, you know what, like, go watch this film and then come back and let me know what you guys think of it. I just, you know, I tried to get into this. And again, there are some short films in here that are banging, but 5 of them are not fucking, well, 4 of them are not very good, and 1 of them fucking pissed me off. It shouldn't even been made, let alone be in here. But anyways, that's just my opinion. But anyways, it's out now. It's called Murder Manual. Check it out and let me know what you think, guys. And until next time, stay scared.